the leadership to do that. The other thing is, we have a climate here in City Hall that shuns people that are trying to do business here in Savannah. We're going to change all that. We're going to streamline the permitting process. We're going to make sure that people that come here to provide jobs for our citizens are treated like they should be treated, instead of turning them away to go to other cities like Charleston or Macon or Atlanta. We're going to provide them with the tools that they can bring their jobs right here to Savannah for our own citizens.
Thanks a lot for that question. I did want to respond to Ms. Jackson, who talked about the seat in the chamber doing anything for the city of Savannah. They have done next to nothing for the workers in the city of Savannah. Now, for opportunities, and you're not electing us to go to the chamber to ask them what to do either. Let me point that out. Opportunities. Japan. It's a terrible, terrible situation right there. It's not too late for Savannah to make the most of this terrible situation. They're manufacturers. There's plenty of them. They're going to have to close shop and do business somewhere else. Savannah, we can make ourselves available and known to them. Had we gone through with ideas I espoused 2 years ago, we would be very well positioned right now. Everybody's looking for a way out of this. So I say we think outside the box. Get rid of this political establishment and these stuffy-minded people who think we have to go to the CETA or the Chamber of Commerce to do something for us, which we should be capable of doing for ourselves. Thanks again for that question.
Mr. Wilson, I appreciate the question too, but for the opposite reasons. I look forward to working with CETA. I was appointed to serve 2 terms on CETA by former Mayor Adams. And the fact that he felt confident enough to give me those terms on CETA, in addition to the 2 terms that I've served as Alderman at large, has put me in the position to know what economic development is all about. But the major opportunities in the next 4 years as your mayor is to create the just Savannah that I spoke of. Job creation, unification, a safer Savannah, and trust in elected officials. And Mr. Wilson, I want to say that last year at my own expense, I traveled to the Panama Canal and I witnessed firsthand the expansion, and they will be on time because it is a part of their culture and their celebration. And one of the things as mayor, I will do everything in my power to assist any of our organizations to make sure that our harbor gets deepened in the proper way for our environment, that it gets deepened and on time. It will create jobs.
I think one of the major opportunities facing our city as far as growth in this community is for us to become a part of the real world, the international world, to make contacts with various entities in other countries. We have to sell our city. But one of the things I think that we have that is missing here is that we're not talking enough with our legislators as well as our federal representatives, so that we will all be on the same page. You know, when we have to go to Washington and talk about the Port of Savannah or other projects that are here, then the first step should always be to talk with our other elected officials. The legislators are in session, state legislators are in session 3 months out of the year. It behooves us to get together during those other 9 months to make sure that we're still on the same page and promoting our city. So the opportunity is about promotion, 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 and also selling, selling, selling.
As a former legislator, I can tell you, because of the economy, there's not going to be many dollars in Atlanta to bring back to Savannah. But I can tell you that the first thing that we need to do is to eliminate the waste. Our city council can't wait until I'm there. We need to make sure that we put a moratorium on spending. We need to let the city manager know that all the ways that we have with the consultants that being paid, how they're being paid, what they're being paid for. When you give $42,000 to a consultant to do a study and you never receive that study, then there is a problem. So when we have a strategic plan, when we revisit the vision statement and the mission statement of the city of Savannah to make sure that it lines up with the current economy and what's going on now, not until then will we be able to do anything. It's the same thing over and over and over again, doing the same thing over, the same results. We want different results. Vote for Regina Thomas.
You know, one of the things that we've had so many of these forums, that everything I say, they wind up in their speeches the next time. So I'm concerned that the opportunities that face in Savannah is one, military, medical profession, cruise ships for tourism. We must take advantage of what we have and keep what we have, like the beautification of downtown and this historic district, so we can continue to attract people here. The harbor deepening comes into play, but most importantly, warehousing because of the situation. One of the things that we did under my administration was pay for the initial study of the river deepening. There are some concerns, but water is going to be one of the major concerns that facing this community within the next 4 years. People may not look at it as an opportunity. I use it as an opportunity when we annexed all the land, the way it kept taxes down from 1996 to 2004. Thank you.
Sure, this is on. Thank you all for coming tonight. I appreciate this. I think a lot of people here are excited to hear all your answers to the questions that we have. My question's a little bit different tonight. We talk a lot about issues in a campaign, but what about character? If you can please give me one word that describes your character and how that plays into your desire to be the next mayor of Savannah. Mr. Jaycee.
One word?
One word, sir.
Okay, forward thinking.
All right. All right.
Integrity.
Honesty.
Inclusion.
Caring.
Honesty.
We have an opportunity to rebut. Two of these city council members, one of them said integrity and another one said honesty. So I have ethics complaints.
Can you use your microphone, sir?
I have integrity on the matter of integrity and honesty. I have ethics complaints that have been filed by citizens that have never been answered by this city council. In fact, when I asked Jeff Felser about this matter at the last forum we attended and we all spoke at, he said that an ethics complaint did not exist. So to that audience, he committed a fraud. So not only did he lie about the matter, he committed a fraud on everyone in the audience. Now here, he wanted proof. So here we go to the liar, lawyer, city council member, who's also now proved himself to be a fraud. People will remember at the last forum, and here you are, Mr. Felser and Ms. Jackson. And the media already have copies of this, and they've had it and known about it for months and months. So you will have to ask WTOC, SAV, the Coastal Source,
Thank you, Mr. Dewberry.
and the newspaper why they won't bring this information to your
Mr. Dewberry, your time is up. Thank you.
I'd like to change my answer if I could. Accountability, something that this city council has never, ever exhibited.
All right. I just got handed a note on clarification about rebuttals. Apparently, I was cheating a little bit. Only the candidate is mentioned in an answer to a question is a rebuttal allowed. So there's that for next time. Jeremiah?
I think I I think I was mentioned pretty good there.
Do you want to rebuttal?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let me just state this. What I said at the last forum is that we had not been served with any ethics complaints, which I still stand by. More importantly, integrity is what I have displayed throughout this process because, and I stand by that, and indeed I have a double burden by being an attorney. Actually, I have an ethics bond, not a bond, but an ethics, in addition to that, license that I have to uphold. So there's a double burden. So I take that extremely seriously. And the integrity, well, I'll talk about the red card is up, but we'll speak later.
In my mentioning that I'm honesty, what I mean is that I will tell you not necessarily what you want to hear, but what you need to hear, how I feel. I am not one that will shirk anyone's responsibility, and I will always be the one that is always trying to be fair. I may not end up on the right side, but at least I can say that I can get up and look in the mirror and I've made a decision that I thought was best. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here this evening. A controversial issue of concern for voters this election is the fate of the city manager, Rochelle Small-Tony. Upon an expiration of her contract this January, do you support to renew her contract or to replace her, and why? And I'll start with you, Mr. Boswick.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. That is a hypothetical question, which I understand is something that we will face as the new mayor and council sit down to the table. The jury is out. We are getting ready to go into a budget season. Our city manager will continue to be judged by her abilities to carry out a budget that is streamlined, that is cutting wasteful spending, and we will see the proof will be in the pudding, as they say. It will take a vote of 5 to make any decisions, and there are 3 votes that will take place. There will be an evaluation of the city attorney, there will be an evaluation of the city manager, as well as our city clerk. So, as you see, there are a lot of candidates who are offering for office, and it will be a consensus of 5 that will make that decision. And I pray that it will be more than 5, that it will be a supermajority that will decide one way or the other how this city is going to go forward. But it is a discussion that will take place, and it should take place because it's our responsibility under the city charter. Thank you.
That is a decision that we cannot make presently as a council, but as a new council, I'm sure that will be one of the first things on the agenda. Mrs. Tony, if she proves that she can continue to hold the job, and if the city council decided that it's a decision that will be made, then we will uphold that decision. In any situation, as we have in the past, evaluations will be done. It will be up to council whether they want to do it on a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, or whatever. But then what finally rests is whether or not the individual, whether it's Ms. Tony or not, can continue to hold the job and carry out the responsibilities and the lack of term, the request that's made through the mayor and city council. I too would hope that this will be something that could be a majority vote, not necessarily a 5 to 4 vote, but a consensus building vote that we can all be together and on the same page. It is based on work ethics, and what the person brings to the table, whether it's Ms. Tony or whomever it is.
I can certainly tell you that as the next mayor, there will not be any immediate contracts given to the current city manager, but within 90 days. I, as well as the other 8 council members, would know if we would want to extend her, offer her a contract for however long that the mayor, council, majority would like to give her a contract for, or whether or not they think that we would need to do a national search to locate another city manager. I think that we must do our due diligence. for the city. There will be some things that we would need to get from the city manager in order to determine how well she will work.